tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So in the previous lesson, we studied the topic live harmoniously. There are 6 characteristics, 6 qualities that lead to fullness and respect of among the members of a group of relationship, like in a monastery or in a family, and it leads to living in harmony and unity of the community. So what is the 6th one? So the bodily kindness, the verbal kindness, the mental kindness, the share of whatever the righteous gain share among the community, or the same morality among the community, and share the right view that lead to the end of suffering among the group of the community, or a temple, or a monastery, or a family. So that is the 6 quality that lead to the unity, harmony of a group of people. So that is the last week lesson, and we also learned the story of a group of the bird that they gathered together and give up and can escape from the trap of the hunter. So today's topic is based on one real story. Last week we have no class, so we went to a funeral. And in the funeral we heard that so many opinion of young kid. So one girl said that she doesn't want to be old, she just want to be beautiful like that as long as possible. She afraid to be ugly, she afraid to be dying. And the other boy said that he doesn't believe that for him the old people like 70 or 80 will be pass away, not the younger one. He don't believe in die at young age. And when we heard this kind of opinion, it sounds funny because it's come from kid, right? Because they don't know exactly what is the living and dead. They don't differentiate between them well. But some of the adults, they also have their opinion. Some talk to me that they are still okay. They're still too young to think about that. They still under quarantine, and it never come to them that early. I mean, the death not come to them that early. So this should be put on considering, because for somebody the departure time it according to their age, and some is untimely. So that's why we have today's topic. How long do we have? So today's topic is based on 2 discourse. One in Milinda Panya, the discourse of King Milinda, and the other one is the Anguttara Nikaya, the collection of number discourse. So in the Milinda Panya, the question of King Milinda, there are conversation between King Milinda and Venerable Nagasena. So he asked Venerable Nagasena that, Bante Nagasena, the sentient being who die, all of them die on time, mean correct to their time, or they also die at the wrong time? So Venerable Nagasena replied to him that, Your Majesty, there are both a timely death and untimely death. So how to understand? The Venerable Nagasena gave an example. So who died at the right time and who died at the wrong time? So like a mango tree, like plum tree, or like any other tree that give fruit. So some of the fruit is ripe and is softened. So that fruit, it can fall down from the tree and it can be seen by you, right? So the king Naga said, the king Melinda said, yes, that's right, Bante. So all of the fruit that fall off the tree by that way, so they fall at the right time or the wrong time. Yes, they fall at the right time because they ripen and soften so that they fall down. So that is the right time. But there are some fruit, even mango or plum or any kind of fruit, it can be destroyed by the worm or and fall, or some strike by us, we strike the fruit and it fall down, or some hit by the wind and it fall down, and some rotten inside and it fall down. So all of these kind of fruit fall down at the wrong time. So in the same way, some because of faded by the impact of old age, and they die. So they die at the right time. But for all the rest of people, some hindered by their karma and die, they're hindered by the rebirth destination and die, and some by behavior and die. So they could die at the wrong time. And the king Melinda also said that, yeah, in some occasion, if the time belong to them, it's the right time for them, like the lifespan is just like that, is maybe they die at the right time. Like the people die in the womb, in the mother womb. So their lifespan just like that. So they might die at the right time for them, even die in the womb, or they die after giving birth at the birthplace. So it could be a right time for them, or 1 month old or 100 years old, they die. So if the time belong to them, it's so they die on time. So Venerable Nagasena give more example that there are few type of people who die at the wrong time while the lifespan still remains. What is the seven? Some people, they want to eat, they're hungry, they want to eat, but they don't have food. So inside the body injure, so they die because of that. So they may die at the wrong time because their lifespan still, but they don't have anything to eat. Or second type, they don't have anything to drink. They dry out inside, they cannot get water on time. So they may die at the wrong time while their lifespan still exists to remain. Some been bitten by snake, and they don't have anyone to have give them a cure. So because of the power of the venom that kill them, that torture them, so they die because of the bitten by the snake. Even their lifespan still remain. Some they been taking poison, and they cannot get the antidote on time, so all a part of their body be destroyed, so they may die at the wrong time while their lifespan still remain. And some may fall into the fire, and the fire is not extinguished, they all not burn, so they may die because of that, even their lifetime still remain. And some people fall into water and does not get support, mean not floating on the water, and die because of that, and they may die at the wrong time while their lifespan still remain. Some are slashed by sword, some are sick but not get the doctor, so they die untimely while their lifespan still remain. So that is the some occasion that they die, their lifespan still remain, but they may die untimely. So here an example. There are really the humus, the fire, and even there are a lot of grass, the twigs, the branches, and the leaf brought into there are a lot of fuel, and when the fuel is consumed totally, so the fire extinguished. So that is that huge fire is called has been extinguished at the right time, because no risk, no misfortune, because all of the fuel has consumed. But it's referred to the occasion that there are some people, they live there thousands of days, they become old, and they become weak, and they die because due to the end of their lifespan. No risk, no misfortune. So that person is called dead at the right time. But there are also occasions that there are huge fire with grass, with twigs, with branches, with leaves that still the fuel there, but there are huge rainfall, and it's the rainfall this pour the water down and extinguish the fire, the huge fire. Even the grass, the twig, the branches, the leaves still there, but there are no fire. So that case cannot call is extinguished at the right time. So similarly with some kind of people, they die at the wrong time. Even their lifespan still there, but there are a condition from outside and kill their life. So that condition is that we call the karma, the action, the result of the karma action, and kill their life. But some occasion, even when we look from outside, it look like that die at the right time, but actually it's at the wrong time, or vice versa. So so for the people who die because of the result of the bad action, the unskillful action that they did before, so they may die because of hunger. They may die because of hunger, because of wanting to eat but doesn't have anything to eat. Because in the previous past life, they curse others to die because of hunger. So because of that karma action, it may yield the result that for them so many 100,000 years, they be tortured by the hunger, want to eat but cannot eat, doesn't have anything to eat, exhausted, dry up, burn inside, and they die because of hunger, even at a young age, middle age, or old age. So that could be the timely death for him, because the result of the bad karma he did long time in the past. Or in some occasion, because that person cursed others to die because of thirsty, because wanting to drink but have nothing to drink. So that could be the bad consequence for him, that he was born as a hungry ghost, and like a beta hungry ghost, for many 100,000 of years, be burned by thirst, become rough, scrawny, and die because of wanting to drink but have nothing to drink, even at young age, middle age, or old age. So it might be a timely death for him. And some people, because they curse other people to death by bitten by the snake, and for that reason, for that bad karma, it yields the consequence that they may, for hundreds of thousands of years, they transform from one python's mouth to another python's mouth, or one snake mouth to another snake mouth, being chewed and be bitten by such kind of python and snake. Even at young age, middle age, and old age, this is timely death for him, because it is the consequence of his unwholesome karma. Some of the people, because they curse other people, die by taking the poison. So many, for 100,000 of years, they might his body emitted the rotten smell of the corpse, and with body part burn inside, destroy inside. So they die because of poison, even at young age, middle age, and old age. It might be the timely death for him due to his previous action. Some people curse other people to die by fire. So for that people, they may face the consequence that for many hundred thousand of years, they transform from one mountain of burning embers to another mountain of burning embers, from one territory of this Yama king to another Yama king. So Yama king is referred to the king of hell who torture the person who did the unskillful act. So they be burned in that way day by day and die by the fire even at young age, middle age, or old age. This is a timely death for him because of his bad consequences. And some people curse other people to die by water. So because of that bad action, it cursed him for many hundred thousand of years. His body part has been tortured, plundered, broken, and weak, and with disturbed mind, because he pushed that people into the water and they die because they cannot breathe. So he will face the similar consequence in that way. So he have disturbed mind and die because of the water, even at young age, middle age, or old age. So it might be a timely death for him due to his bad consequences. And he used to curse others to die by sword. So now he faced the consequence that he was cut, was sawed, was smashed, was crushed, beaten with a spear, and died by the sword. Even the young age, middle age, or old age, this is also a timely death for him due to his consequences. So there are some of the explanation in the discourse that we can see that they die because of water, because of hunger, because of fire, etc. But that could be a timely death for this person, and it could be untimely death for that person. It depends on the condition affect to them. So we can see that when we talk about the karma and the result, karma and consequence, that affect to a person that killed them, cut short their lifespan. So when we talk about karma as the condition, so there is nothing we can make sure about our life, because we don't know exactly what karma will come and will yield the consequence, and how long it will yield the consequence. We don't know exactly. So talking back about the person who have an idea that we are still under quarantine, we are still too young to think about passing away or die. For example, like we buy a bottle of milk from the market. So even in the bottle of milk, there are a number of warranty day for so many days like that. But it's not true that on that day it will expire, because sometimes I read it that and I have to smell it before I drink, because some expire before the date written on the bottle, or some after that day for so long. So there is nothing to make sure that even they have the expire date, because it depends on the condition from outside. Like we keep outside for so long, it may be expire soon, or we shake it too much, expire soon, etc. So there is nothing to quarantine about the bottle of milk. How can there something quarantine about our life? So we cannot make sure that our warranty of life, like 20 years, like 30 years, 40 years, 70 years, 80 years. There's no one can make sure like that, can say 100% like that. So when we talk about those things, some of the devotee may feel like, why we talk about those things? We talk about that. We talk about dying like that, like this. Is so miserable. It's so scary. But the teaching of the Buddha make us focus on this thing, reflecting on these things to help us. Because when we know that there are limited time we have to stay alive, so we need to use that time properly to make it the most benefit for us. That's the point. We know that we will depart, we will leave this life, we will leave everyone we love now. So we have to pressure the time we have to make the most of it for us and for everybody around us. So that's why we have the topic today, how long do we have? We have to ask ourselves that question many times. So I take another discourse in the Anguttara Nikaya, the collection of number discourse. So at that one time, there are two Brahmin who are old, so they are weak because of old age. They senior, they advance in year. They are elderly, they're older by birth. Almost the end of life, because there are three stages of life, like young, the middle age, and old age. So they are almost the end of life. They reaching the lifespan because they spend almost the third day of their life already. They're living for 120 years. So they came to meet the Buddha, greeted him, and sat down on one side. So after sitting down, they said to the Buddha that, Master Gautama, we are Brahmin. They are Brahmin because they proud of their Brahmin status. They are not Khattiya. They are not belong to the householder life. They not belong to the king or the royal family, but they are Brahmin. They're proud of that. But they are being old, senior, elderly, almost end of their life, reaching the lifespan, living 120 years. And they know that we are those who do not do good things, those who not do skillful things, those who do not create shelter from fear. So Master Gautama, please advise us. Master Gautama, please instruct us what can bring us long-term benefit and joy. So they came to the Buddha and they expressed that they are old, they're senior, but for whole their life they didn't do anything good, anything skillful, anything can be the shelter for them from fear. So they asked the Buddha for advice, for instruction. So the Buddha replied them that yes, it's true for sure that you are old, senior, elderly, and almost end of your life, reaching the lifespan, living 120 years. Now you do not know how to do good thing. You do not do skillful thing. You do not create shelter from fear. Yeah. The Buddha confirmed that yes, you are. You know what you are now. Brahmin, the world is burning with old age, sickness, and death. When the world is burning because of old age, sickness, and death like that, anyone in this world abstain by body, abstain by speech, abstain by mind, for him when departing, this is the shelter, a hiding place, an island, a refuge, a destination for him. So the Buddha gave a simile that this life we live, we are burning by old age, by sickness, by death. So we know that we are all burning by old age, by sickness, by death, day by day. So what we should do, he should abstain by body, abstain by way of speech, abstain by way of mind. So do anything, not to do anything unskillful, not to do anything bad by way of body, by way of speech, and by way of mind. So for him when departing, or for us when departing, so this is the meritorious deed. This is called the punya, by way of practice, abstain from body, by way of speech, and way of mind. So it's the meritorious deed. This is called a punya for us to bring to another world after we pass away. So he called it is a shelter. It means it's protection. By means of protection, it's a hiding place by means of safety. It is an island by means of having support. It is a refuge by means of depending on it, and a destination by means of ultimate destination. So this punya can protect us, can give us a safety place, can support us, and we can depending on the punya to have a better destination. So after we pass away. So that is what the Buddha encouraged these two Brahmin when they reach old age and almost end of their life. So you may think that why the Buddha just give them an idea that to keep body, speech, and mind, restrain their body, speech, and mind in that way. Why don't give him any lesson on practice meditation or other thing? Because they're too old, and the Buddha know that even he asked they even if he asked they to be a monk, they cannot fulfill that because they too old to practice or anything higher. So he just give their basic method just to practice and give benefit to them to the next life, because too much time, they don't have too much time. So it means that when we think about this subject, topic, we think about our life, we still have more time. So there could be more for us to practice to bring benefit for us, not just keeping this abstain by way of body, speech, and mind. So he gives an simile that in a burning house, which anything can be saved, that is the item of benefit to that person, not the thing that is burned inside. So when the house is burned, what you love, what you need, what is benefit for you, you would try to bring out, rescue from the house as soon as possible, as much as possible. So that item is benefit for you. You love that item, not the thing burned inside. You don't care about that thing. So you bring out what you need, what is necessary for you. So likewise, the world is on fire with old age and death. You should rescue by giving. And giving is the item that is well rescued. So do giving, do generosity, share with other person as much as you can. It is the rescue for you when you are burning with old age and death. And furthermore, those in this life abstain by body, with speech, and even mind. So that punya generated when they being alive like that, that punya continue to be the happiness for that person when they depart. So when we are on fire with old age and death, what we should do is the giving. Giving, generosity, share with other person, that is the item that we need to rescue. And furthermore, we try to practice abstain from body, with speech, and even mind. So that punya we generate when we are alive, that punya will continue to be the happiness for us when we depart. So these the Brahmana, they encouraged by the Buddha in that way. So they try to practice the 5 precepts, and they try to preserve their 5 precepts really well for their lifetime. So they don't have much time, and after that they reborn in heaven. So that is how the Buddha helped them to practice even they have a short time in life. So into today's topic, we study this topic, how long do we have? So we know that in this life there are somebody that die at the wrong time, some at the right time. It's just like the fruit fall down from the tree. Some are ripen and soft enough to fall down by themselves. Some fall down because of wind, because of human, because of the warm, or because of it rotten inside. So it's untimely for such kind of fruit. So similarly, some people they die because they're old, they're weak, and they die. But somebody they may die because of the condition from outside. They may die because of hunger. They may die because of thirst. They may die because of bitten by snake, by poison, by fire, by water, or by sword, or they've been sick too much and they die. But just like the huge fire they may extinguish because of there are no more fuel. But there are occasions that the big fire, even there's still enough fuel, but they extinguish by the huge rain fall down and pour the water and extinguish the fire. Even the fuel is still there. So there are many ways of dying, many ways of death, but depend on occasion, depend on a specific occasion. That some people die timely for this person, but untimely for that person. And we're not sure, we're not guaranteed that we have many time, how many time we have to live, to be alive. So when we know that we have a limited time to be alive, so we should try to do something good for ourselves, cherish the time. So what we do? The Buddha give the two old Brahmin that even they have nothing much time to live. So they just try to practice. Abstain by way of body, by way of speech, and by way of mind. And when the house is burning, try to rescue many things as possible. Is the way of giving, of it is the generosity, it is the sharing with other person that is should rescue from the house is burning by old age and death. So by doing that, that punya we create when we're still alive, that punya, that meritorious deed, will create more happiness. We'll continue to create more happiness when we depart on this life. So that is the today's topic. Thank you for your listening.
This one is batteries running out. Okay, time for us to discuss today's lesson. Today's lesson we learn about death. In Buddhism, we mention about death a lot, and we often got criticized because Buddhism is always talk about death. It's so negative, always pessimistic. Always talk about death. But there's so much more for life to offer. So happiness in life. But Buddhism talk about death all the time. Well, actually, we talk both about happiness. We talk about death. But talking about death alone, of course, is negative, pessimistic. But the Buddha didn't stop right there. He showed us about death, and he also give us the remedy or the thing that we need to do to be ready to be to live our life with wholesomeness, with product. So that way, when we die happy. We die with meaning and be ready for the next life. So in the Western saying, sometimes we hear the sayings that live as though you die tomorrow. Don't live your life as though you never die. So why does it mean that live as though you will die tomorrow and don't live your life as though you never died? If you are to die tomorrow and you are a very proactive person and you won't surrender to death, then that person would be he tried to make the most of everything that he can do, wrap it up in one day. He will be more productive. He would go out and greet people, apologize to all the wrong thing that he had done. He forgive people for all the things that they did wrong to him. He let go all the grudge. He get everything prepared. He's ready to take on a journey, a new journey. So when he dies, with a lot of helpful, productive things. So that is like, that you don't have much life to live, then you need to make the most out of it. The other phrase say that, don't live your life as though you will never die. For though think that he'll never die, he has so much time in his hand, he tend to procrastinate. He tend to enjoy overindulging himself. He did everything. He's not worried. He's not scared of the D-Day, the end, the end of it. So what happened to this kind of people? He just overindulged himself. He overspent. Eventually, he run out of resource. He commit a lot of unwholesome thing, and then he had to pay for it. So maybe a prisoner, or being poor, or being broke, or many things, and then he end up had nothing left. So that's the kind of people who just enjoy the life as though they never end. So that's not encouraged. So in Buddhism, we all talk about that. We are the first phrase that live your life as though you will die tomorrow. So that way you make the most of everything. You prepare for the journey. You live very productive life. So so how do you prepare when you have when you live your life? You need to when you appear here, you recognize that you are not as fortunate as other people because of the thing that you have done in the past, that yield the result, that now that you have to face a lot of mishap, a lot of misfortune. So you got to make a difference rather than surrender to your shortcoming or your thing that you don't have. You have to be proactive. You have to change your life. You have to go and do something different. Let's say that if you're poor, then you need to be more generous. You need to help out. You need to do this. If you feel that you're lacking of this, then you need to find a way to compensate it. Be proactive. So that way you change you change your life. Don't surrender for whatever that you have, and just accept it. You can always you still have breath, then you still have time to fight for it and make a difference for it. And go back to the thing that he's saying. How is it that when people die, they have a timely death? They die at the right time or die at the wrong time? Well, being born with the merit, with the punya, that you have a long life or a short life or in between. Some of the death that people just live their life normal, healthy, and everything, and all of a sudden, that person just dropped dead with no prior health records or anything. So what does it mean? If that is the case, according to the teaching of the Buddha, that this person could die at has a timely death. I mean, the lifespan of this person is that's only that much. But if someone who lived, and then all of a sudden something struck, like something bad happened to that person, like painfully died, dead, or get very sick and all that and die, some people like been healthy and then they get sick and then they die. So does it mean that this person has a timely death or untimely death? Could be untimely death because this person got sick and then died. That means that he, for some reason that he did in the past, that the result bear that cause it, that obstruct his life. That's why he passed. But somebody who been sick for a long time, somebody sick for a long time and got cured, and then one day that person just died. So that could be a timely death, because this person, he expected that he's been having this disease or this sickness, it prolonged, and to the point that his lifespan ended, and then his life also ended like that. So we have timely death and untimely death. And what caused that? What cause of this happen is all about the bad karma, the bad action that yield the result. Someone who has a very short lifespan, they mean that in the past, the person commit bad karma related to life. I mean, like taking, killing, taking life from other living being. So the result of having a short life. But somebody, for some reason in the past, has a long life, but commit other unwholesome deeds, like killing someone or harming someone, then in this life, this person have to face the result that he died because of this action, the result of this action that caused him, and then obstruct, and it end his life short. So that's just the thing that we learn about Buddhism. It's not that our life depend on in the hand of someone. If they happy, they let us live. If they're not happy, they take it away. It doesn't work that way. According to Buddhism, that there's always a cause and the effect, and the effects that drive how we live our life. So if that's just the case, then we should be in charge of our life. We should be in charge of what we do. And, if we want to face, better life, more happy, then try to do things correctly in this life. So according to the two old men, the two old Brahmin came to the Buddha, and they live a full life of 120 years old, and they are to the point of dying. So they asked the Buddha, so what should I do? All my life I did all, not so good anyway, but now I still have a little bit of left. Is there any advice for me to be ready for my, for my end, to the death day? So the Buddha say, okay, you don't have much time left, so why not just concentrate on the practice of the three action, bodily action, verbally action, and mentally action. So what is the bodily action? The bodily action consists of three parts. You just abstain from killing living beings, not taking things, not stealing, and taking things not given, and commit adulterate. And for the speech, don't talk false speech, don't talk divisive speech, nonsense. And then lastly, the mental action is not to harbor any ill will or the negative, try to harm other people, things like that. And if you can remain wholesome in these three parts, that's the very least that you can do to build up this punyas to be to be ready for the next life, to die peacefully. So that is the thing that the Buddha encouraged that. The Buddha has never saying that there's never a too late. Even though this two Brahmin, he at the point of finish his life, but then again the Buddha still encouraged him to a little bit that he can do something about it. Okay, so whatever it is in our life, we can make a difference. Then why not just to change it? Okay, just don't surrender of what you've been facing, and then you feel frustrated. There's no way out. So that's today's lesson. So if you have any questions, we can talk it out. If not, then we can wrap it up early. Any questions? No? Yeah, go ahead. Mhm.
in this life? What is that?
Yeah. You mean, usually people always want to know the evidence, what proof it. How do we know that we actually did that to face, the result in the present life? A lot of us want to have proof. Well, for many of us, as the monk, we don't have proof, right? Only the Buddha himself, he has the wisdom to can actually see through it and then point out that is the cause of the result that you face now. But according to from what he mentioned and from what the doctrine and we learned about the cause and effect, and you know it can be very complex. It's not like black and white like that. It could be many other factors in, but most of the time that the cause and effect that lead. The reason he mentioned about the person in this life that got starved and died because in the previous life, this person commit of starving others. That usually come from the Buddha teaching. The Buddha, there's a story that the Buddha, something happened during the Buddha time, and something happened, and then it brought it to the Buddha, and the Buddha looked at it and reflect on it, and he realized that the reason this person died of starvation because in the previous life they have done something similar to others. So that is came from the Buddha knowledge. He pointed out. So what he mentioned, it could, it come from the story that mentioned, the Buddha mentioned that. So based on that, we learned, we just say, oh, it could be something like that happen. But we are not certain because we don't actually know it ourselves. But based on the law of cause and effect, that most of the time it goes, it go that way. It makes sense. So rather than asking for proof, a lot of us asking for proof, and then we miss out a lot of things that we could have done to improve ourselves in this very life, in this period of life. So if you practice loving kindness, because if you can do something great for others, you see others happy, it makes us happy. And that also lead to, in the future life, that we might reap the benefit from that. But if we are to sit here and we want to see proof, a lot of us want to see proof. We want to determine what we have done in the past. Then we miss out so much that we could have done right now. You know what I mean? So a lot of people, just last week, my cousin, she also want to understand. She want to prove. Now this day, with technology and a lot of things that we see proof, but you keep on asking, proof, and then you miss out. It's just like the poison arrow, You got shot by a poison arrow, and you want to find out who shot you. By the time you find out who shot you, you already died from the poison. So why not just cure the poison, cure your wound first, and then figure it out later? It's not that there's no answer. It's just that with our understanding, we not yet comprehended. But eventually, the answer will reveal itself through the practice. So right now, if you are suffering, you want to be free from this suffering, then work on that. And then you will eventually get more knowledge. You will understand deeper. So the proof right now, I can understand, but it's not necessary. So right now, you just see it right in this very life. You do good thing, you see the result. And if you believe in that, then other will follow. They fall in place. Yeah. But we often, a lot of people ask that, how do we know? As a Buddhist, we often ask you to look into this present life. If what we face today, what we face in this life, we learn that we have done something in the past. And what we will know in the future, what we'll be like, we need to look at this life and what you do. So why is it that in this life you are disadvantaged or more advantaged than others? Then you wonder how is it? Who did this to me? You know, if you face some mishap and then you wonder, you know, who did this to me? You know, and you're not happy about it, then do something about it to be free from that. Okay. But based on what he mentioned about the person who died of starvation, and because of the previous life, you know, that these people have done something similar to others, to other living being, and that's usually been told by the Buddha, and then we just learn it from the discourse. Okay, yeah. You have anything to add?
Talking about the karma and consequences, even we cannot know exactly what happened to us right now because of what kind of karma in the past. We don't know exactly, but there are something similarly we can know is based on some story and some discourses. There are one monk in the time of the Buddha. He he when he was born, he was born in a very poor family, and even because of him, so whole village get problem, and they poor the whole village, and then his mother had to give up him. Later on, he been taken by one of the venerable and ordained as a novice monk, but he affect our monk too. And even that monk is the famous monk, but when God come with him, so they not get any food. And when they separated from him, so they get food. There are some occasion like that we can know that because of his previous karma, but not all the time we can recognize it easily because we don't have enough knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the effect. Even though he was the one who commit the bad action, the bear the result in this life. He doesn't, you know, he doesn't have enough food to eat to survive. So everywhere he go, everywhere he went, he doesn't have enough food. In fact, the people around him get also affected by him. So but they didn't know what caused it. So in this story, they segregate the group into two, and then you know, divide the group in two, and then you know, separate it, and then eventually the other group also faced difficulty in getting food, and then they don't know which one among the one that caused this. So they keep dividing the group, you know, into only two persons. And eventually they recap, okay, so I don't know which one of you is the one caused this. And then they separated, you know, the boy and his mother. And then his mother was okay, but the boy is still facing that. So eventually they found the culprit, that he was the one that, you know, caused it. Because his bad action was so severe, so bad, that it affect the people around him. And that's you know, goes back to the story that he commit a very heinous act that caused this, you know, this horrendous result that affect everybody around. Well, that is the past, the story that came from during the Buddha time, and the Buddha point out that. But in this current life, I see something similar. You know, I see some parent when they have these kids, you know, they have a very hard time. But once the kid left the family start, you know, doing much better. So that could be, you know, the kid that caused, you know, the problem to the family, even though he's a good kid, you know, and they're a good family, but they struggle somehow until that kid, you know, grew up and moved out of the house, and then the parents start, you know, gotten better with that. So that doesn't mean it is like doesn't mean that we should get rid of the kid. It's just that we have to bear with because they are our children, right? We love them, we care for them. But it could be the effect like that. So we don't know exactly, but based on the story that's been told back then during the Buddha time, we can actually relate to it, you know. And as it's a wake-up call for us that we need to work on our wholesomeness and avoid unwholesome, so that way in the future we we won't face thing like that. But we may not be lucky at this like the in the story, that young man, he was in the Buddhist hand, among the Buddha and the disciple. They did not, mistreat him, even though he caused a lot of mishap to a lot of people, even though he didn't want it that way. But you never know. Sometimes we may not be that fortunate that we be in the good hand. They tolerate us and they still take care of us. We might be kicked out, and shoved out and in the cold and die alone like that. You know what I mean? For that particular young man, he was in because he was in the group of the monks, and the monk couldn't bear to toss him out, so they still nurture him.
Yeah, actually, in that story, the mother abandoned him because she cannot take him along. So he have to be a beggar for him by himself
Yeah,
until he meet the venerable and take him to ordain as a novice monk.
yeah,
But he practiced so hard and he finally get enlightened at the end.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, okay. So this story, he did get mistreated, been abandoned by his mother. So he had to beg for food until the venerable Sariputta, the chief disciple of the Buddha, took him in and nurturing him, and eventually he worked hard, he practiced hard, so he got liberated from that. So that's something that been told, in the discourse. So, okay, well, thank you. That's a very good question. I encourage you for more questions. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think it's about time.